It is great to be here again. I love coming up here. I have to get up at 6:30 in the morning to get up here in time, but it's worth it. Money doesn't define me or determine what I'm worth. Second homes and diamond rings mean less to me than keeping my word. And how I treat my neighbor, the ones with unruly kids, tells you more about who I am and what I have and how I live. 'Cause I believe that what's inside colors our lives. If grace and gratitude love will show. And I believe that we can change darkness and pride to display life-giving colors of the soul. Envy cannot consume me when I'm thankful for all I have. So I count life's benefits every night before going to bed. And if I'm disgruntled about the way that something is done, I simply remind myself that grace abounds for everyone. 'Cause I believe that what's inside colors our lives. If grace and gratitude love will show. And I believe that we can change darkness and pride to display life-giving colors of the soul. Peace begets peace. Patience breeds kindness. Joy, joy paints laughter. Oh, living colors of a loving soul, of the soul. 'Cause I believe that what's inside colors our lives. If grace and gratitude love will show. And I believe that we can change darkness and pride to display life-giving colors of the soul. To display life-giving colors of the soul. Peace, patience, kindness, joy, and laughter. All living colors of a loving soul. Try that with me. Peace, patience, kindness, joy, and laughter. All living colors of a loving soul. Peace. Peace, patience, kindness, joy, and laughter. All living colors of a loving soul. One more time. Peace, patience, kindness, joy, and laughter. All living colors of a loving soul. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm going to move up here. For those of you who have seen me before, I've been walking around with a stick. I am walking mostly without one. So that hip surgery and that knee surgery worked, and I was really excited because I could actually put like on shoes with little heels on them. You know, makes me just a little over 6 feet tall. If you need someone's attention, put your little heels on, right? I want to talk about a few people who have chosen some intentions for their lives. So I know as we look at the white stone ceremonies, we pick an intention for this year. I want to reflect on a couple. One is Malala, which many of us have heard of her. She's a female Pakistani education advocate who at the age of 17 in 2014 became the youngest person to win the Nobel Peace Prize after surviving an assassination attempt by the Taliban. Malala was an advocate for girls' education when she herself was still a child, which resulted in the Taliban issuing a death sentence against her, against a teenager, right? So in October of 2012, she was 15 years old and she's riding a bus. And as she's on her way from school, some masked gunmen got on the bus and they asked where she was. And her friends, unfortunately, did this kind of thing. And they looked at her, right? Well, they didn't want to give her up, but by looking at her, it gave her away. And the man fired and hit her in the left side of her head. It put her in critical condition. She was flown to a military hospital where, I'm sorry, it's a little gross, but a portion of her skull was removed to treat her swelling brain. Just want to know how serious it was. She was transferred to England, where she was taken out of a medically induced coma, and she had multiple surgeries. But she was able in 2013 to return to school there in England. Now, in 2014, she was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, and she says this: "If I win Nobel Peace Prize, it would be a great opportunity for me. But if I don't get it, it's not important because my goal is not to get Nobel Peace Prize. My goal is to see the education of every child." Coming from doesn't let women get an education, that was very important to her. So not only was it a goal for herself, right, but a goal for all people. That also reminds me of a story of a college student that I had when I was at Westminster College in Salt Lake City. His name's Spencer West. He's not related to Tim West, but I'm sure they would get along great. I had a little video that sometimes I show, but it's very short. But Spencer was born with a rare genetic spinal disorder where his legs were amputated when he was 5 years old. And the doctors told his parents that he would never do much with his life. I met him when he was in college. And so he is kind of on a waist on up, and he has this little wheelchair, but he gets down and he walks and runs on his hands. And he came with me as the director of campus ministry on some of my retreats where we would go out to, in Utah, the different national parks out there. And he would go out and join us. And I loved having him, right? Because you just think, oh, this is somebody that can't, how could he do this? But no, it's like, he did not let things stop him. So at one point, he decided what he wanted to do was prove that he could summit Mount Kilimanjaro on his hands. So he trained, and you can look him up on the internet, on YouTube, and you can see the videos that he did before he trained and the videos that he took, and they're pretty brief of him actually doing it, and he did accomplish that. Spencer said he hopes his successful climb to the deadly peak will inspire others to believe that nothing is insurmountable. This feat is just another part of Spencer West's Redefine Possible campaign. So he goes around with some groups that run around the country, and he speaks at these groups and he tells about his story. And when he comes out, everyone's just like, oh, because it's like he's a half person, he looks like, right? And he's in his little wheelchair, and everyone's like, oh my gosh. And then he has this story, and it's like his goal is to help people see that nothing can stop you if you want to go after it. That is like an intention that he has to put out there in the world. He is an amazing person. And the amazing part is this part in here. I mean, the stuff that he has done physically, but it's the passion within him, the compassion within him that makes him truly an amazing person. So I want to do one more story because it comes from the Bible. And some people are familiar with that story, but it's the story of Esther. She is this beautiful Hebrew woman who gets in, tries to become the queen, and she's the one that's chosen by the Persian king. And so, this is all cool and great. But sometime while she's queen, the king's chief dude, I think it's easier just to kind of translate it to our language. The king's chief dude, right? he puts a decree out that all the Hebrews are going to be annihilated on a specific date. And so Esther's cousin Mordecai comes to her and goes, I love it. It is mortified Mordecai, right? What a great name for that. He comes to Esther and he goes, hey, this might be the time. This is why you maybe have this job, because this is the time you could actually go and save our people. And so she listens to that, but she's a little nervous because she knows if she were to just go into, yo, king, he could have her slaughtered. Because you don't just go, yo, king, whenever you want to. You wait for him to summon you. So she waits a long time and he does not summon her. I don't know what's wrong with him. Maybe he was gone. Maybe he was on vacation because she's so beautiful. Why would you not call her in, right? So anyway, I'm going to be brave enough. She comes into him. She approaches him and he lets her come in. So that's the first good thing, right? And then she explains the whole plot that his main dude has set up to annihilate her people. And requests, that this be changed. And so the king not only lets her come in, but he gives her her wishes, grants her her wishes, and reverses the decree, and the Hebrew people are saved. Hoot, hoot. Only to go have some other trial and traumas again down the road, right? So it's a drag. But Esther recognized that where she was, that she had a purpose for her life besides just being a beautiful queen. Right? And she used courage to move towards that intention. Now, these three stories show people setting goals and intentions that push them to do extraordinary things. But hear me when I say this. You do not need to be extraordinary to have a meaningful purpose in this life. I think that is something we can all possess. It doesn't matter whether we help or inspire 10 people or 10 million people. It's all powerful, it's all needed, and it's all appreciated. So before we move into the white stone ceremony, I want to talk a little bit about intentions, and I want to talk about 3 types of intentions. So the first one is intentions for self. First of all, we're not going to put any value on any of these. None of these are bad. When I say value, we can value them, but none of these are bad. Okay, they're just different types of intentions. So one is intentions for yourself. What do I want? These are tangible things. Maybe a new car, maybe a new man. No, just kidding. Don't. If Fred's listening, I was joking. I'm joking. Maybe a new dog. Maybe to go on a nice vacation. Those are tangible things. But another part of that, I think, is what we might want to become. That can also be for ourselves. And so when I sang the song Colors of the Soul, it's really focusing on what do I want to become? Love, peace, patience, kindness, joy, laughter. What do I want to become? So that can be an intention for the year as I set forward. Is like, I want a new car and I want to exude joy, right? I read this book a long time ago and I absolutely love it. It's called Mutant Message Down Under. Who's read that? Okay, awesome. So I'm just briefly going to say this woman, she, gets invited down under for, to get an award. And so she goes down to Australia to get this award and she finds out her award is a walkabout. She's expecting some trophy and she ends up on this walkabout with the Aboriginal people there. And so I just want to read this excerpt. It's called From Happy Unbirthday. Because it talks about the Aboriginal people that she's walking with, how they view their worth. So it's just a little scoopy scoop, but I like to read it like if we're having story time. So just kick back, relax, like you're sitting in my classroom. During our journey, there were 2 occasions that we celebrated by honoring someone's talent. Everyone is recognized by a special party, but it has nothing to do with age or birth date. I love that. It is in recognition of uniqueness and contribution to life. They believe that the purpose for the passage of time is to allow a person to become better, wiser, to express more and more of one's beingness. So if you are a better person this year than last, and only you know that for certain, I got to take an aside. That I love. Only you know that. Don't be letting people judge you. Only you know that for certain. Then you call for the party. When you say you are ready, everyone honors that. One of the celebrations we had was for a woman whose talent or medicine in life was being a listener. Her name was Secret Keeper. And no matter what anyone wanted to talk about, get off their chest, confess, or vent, she was always available. She considered the conversation private, didn't really offer advice, love that, nor did she judge. She held the person's hand or held their head in her lap and just listened. She seemed to have a way of encouraging people to find their own solutions, to follow what their hearts were directing them to do. At Secret Keeper's party, various people took turns telling what a comfort it was to have her in the community and how valuable her work was for everyone. She glowed humbly and took the praise in a dignified and royal manner. So I love that. I thought, what if we did that? And I love the birthday party thing, but at this age, we don't need to focus on it. At this age, I stopped having birthday parties and stopped taking selfies. It's too close. Can you stand in the back for the selfies? But what if I could say, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm becoming more even-keeled, or I stop and I think better. There's things that I'm doing at work much better because I'm focusing on developing a skill. So even at this age, I can develop something. Now, Alfredo told me he wanted to come because he wanted to share a story about his intentions. So Alfredo, where are you? Oh, right here, okay. So just let me get Alfredo ready here. Hi! They said, welcome back. I know! I want to talk about my intentions. Well, go for it. Okay. I have the intention of providing wonderful food to people can feel joy. Wow, I love that. I totally love that. Yeah, but I also want to be able to provide food so people who feel traumatic situations can come to me and be just kidding. Yeah, that's funny, Alfredo. That sounds like something I would do. Yes, that is something I would say. Great. Yeah. So I like to work with people who've had trauma experiences. Yeah. I just don't know anything about it. Anyway, I guess the other intention I have, maybe have my own cooking blog. Would you listen to that? But I think I'm so cute. Maybe I need to do a show. I could do a television show like The Swedish Chef. Yeah, that would be great. We could use another. We need the competition out there. Yeah. Run rings around him. But isn't he your friend? Yes. I got an idea. What's that? I could have Star on my show because she makes really good soup. She could be like one of your guests. Yes, Star. Yes. Well, I got to get going because I've got plans to make and stuff. So when you get home, leave me alone because I got a lot of work to do. Okay. And I want to just bye. I love Alfredo. He's always thinking how to do things for others. Even though he's limited, but we don't care, right? You can do the best you can with what you got. So what do you want? Is there something tangible that you want, or what do you want to become? That's one, the intention for yourself. The second one is intentions for accomplishments. And I think Alfredo touched on this a little bit. And I for sure, Spencer West, right? What did he want to accomplish? He wanted to accomplish climbing Mount Kilimanjaro and did that. What are things that you want to accomplish? Is there a project you want to start and finish? Is there a project you just want to finish? That might be right too. Do you want to get another educational degree, or you want to get a better job, or you want to have kids? Some of us don't want kids anymore. We want pets. Some of us want pets. So, but by setting an intention out there of something you want to accomplish, again, we all know that, but that's a thing that helps move us in that direction. So for me, there's a couple things I want to accomplish, and I'm starting to say them now. Like for one, I've got a little cabin now put on my lot, and I want to turn it into, I'm going to do like glamping Airbnb. Maybe get that off this summer. So if anyone wants to come hang out for a weekend. My problem is I'm not going to charge. I'll be in like, yeah, you can do it for free. Yeah, you can just stay for free. But I kind of want to couple it with spirituality or music retreats. So songwriting retreats. And so people can come in small groups, and I would actually lead retreats, and they can stay in the cabin. So yeah, I got one. So, that's something that I would like to accomplish. And so I think those are things sometimes that gives us meaning when we can pick an accomplishment out there. It doesn't matter how old you are, you can accomplish. Don't have to say, oh, I'm never doing this again. No, it can be anything. It could be just like, I'm going to accomplish winning my neighbor over that hates my guts, right? Have you ever done something like that? Have you ever set that intention? I'm always amazed at how I end up doing it. And then I'm like, darn, they're my friends. Oh, it's a good thing. It's usually a very good thing, but I do that almost if I find someone that I'm struggling with, I will say my intention is to make their life better. So it's not like I'm trying to I'm going to be their best friend. No, it's just I want to do something to make their life better. And when you start to work that way, all of a sudden amazing things can happen. So intentions for yourself, intentions for accomplishments. The third one I'm going to look at is intentions for impact. What do you want to change in the world, in your community, in your family, in the society where you work? How do you want to impact others? Where do you want to make an impact? And I think about Malala, who really did do something to make an impact and be recognized worldwide. And she's still working on that intention to impact education for all people. Even Esther, it was something, it wasn't for herself. It was for something else that she had that intention to do. And she put herself even possibly in harm's way, but she carried that out. I like the term agent for change, right? So you don't have to be some, I'm going to change the world by blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, I'm just going to change where I work. There are some where I work. And if you're listening, no. There's some tension between some people. And I've decided, I said, you know what? I'm going to work at trying to help resolve that. Maybe bringing people together that need to have conversations. Listening to people that maybe don't feel like they're being listened to. Address racism, because that's huge. That conversation comes up on our campus a lot because we have probably 90% of our staff is white people, and 90% of our students are students of color. And so we've been trying to hire more people of color. And then this year they just brought on some new people, and there were a lot of white women that came on, and they are phenomenal. So they are really good at what they do, but then you go, wait, are we, the people of color on staff are feeling slighted. So I'm not making a judgment. I'm just saying there's stuff going on, and I would like to be an agent for change in that. That's we have 8 teachers on my campus. It's not some big, huge campus. It's a small thing, but it's a big thing that I can do right then and there. I love it that Martin Luther King Jr. Day is tomorrow. He was definitely an agent for change. And I just wanted to pull 3 things out of his I Have a Dream speech that he did in 1963. Because they look at intentions. Now is the time to make real the promise of democracy. Now is the time to lift our nation from the quicksand of racial injustice to the solid rock of brotherhood, and I'm going to add sisterhood, and non-binary hood. Now is the time to make justice a reality to all of God's children, and we are all God's children. Doesn't matter our faith. We are all God's children. So I'm going to walk us through a little meditation. This is with your white stone. And I'm going to walk through those three things: intention for self, intention for accomplishment, intention for impact. As I do that, what jumps out to you? I mean, you can have more than one intention. I like to have one or two, one in each one of those fields. But what really jumps out at you that you want to put on your rock, so your stone? So everyone should have a little cool white stone and a Sharpie. Thank you for not being like my kids and putting little black mustaches or goatees on your face with your Sharpie. I know, right now he's going to jump in there. So let's move into meditation. I'm actually going to move over to the piano because I'm going to play a little piano music in the background. If you're comfortable just closing your eyes, do that. Breathe in. Breathe in and breathe out at a comfortable pace for yourself. Breathing in life and releasing any anxiety you have. Breathing in life, releasing any anxiety. As you breathe, just get in touch with that central part of you, your heart chakra. Just check how you're feeling. How are you feeling right now? Whatever it is, embrace it. It is the right thing. And if you slowly make your way up to your eye chakra, which is the center of your forehead here, and if you don't believe in chakras or not interested, that is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But coming up into your mind's eye, into your Godhead, and just open that up. Just see it opening and accepting the blessings of God, the love of God, the life from God. And pose the question, what intention do I want to set for the coming year? Just see what comes to you. Is it an intention for yourself? Is it an intention for accomplishment or achievement? Is it an intention for some kind of impact? And I'm going to stop talking and just play some piano, and when you're ready to write something down on your stone, you can write that down. you haven't come up with something, or if you're still writing, that's fine. Just keep doing that. I'm going to move into a song called Dancing in My Own. It's a song that I wrote for myself to encourage me to step out and have a voice again. Sitting on the back porch of nothing, I had gone from father to husband, now traveling alone, with some odds and ends to show for my years. I was told to move on down life's highway, but instead I wandered scenic byways, and life became my friend. The summer I chose to pen my own frontier. I used to walk in the footsteps of another, from stepping stone to stepping stone, till I believed I had so much more to offer, and now I'm dancing in my own. I sport a shirt that says, "Watch out, baby," 'cause yes, I can replaces all my maybes. The stars, the sun, the moon have grown an inch or two in my eyes. I used to walk in the footsteps of another, from stepping stone to stepping stone, till I believed I had so much more to offer, and now I'm dancing in my own. Some days I dance alone, with a crowd or someone in need. I dance where I am, with the power of I can. I can love and I can laugh and I can lead. So dance with me. I used to walk in the footsteps of another, from stepping stone to stepping stone, till I believed I had so much more to offer. And now I'm dancing, now I'm dancing, now